What's going on, guys? My name is Neeb. Welcome back to AROMATIX. My Middle Eastern fragrance collection has been extremely expanding. I mean, to say the freaking least. And it's always expanding. So today I want to talk to you guys about the current top 10 Middle Eastern niche fragrances. I plan on making this list maybe once or twice a year, max. And because I'm grabbing a lot of fragrances almost every single month, I've grabbed maybe about 2 to 3. So these are the best Middle Eastern niche fragrances that are on the market today. Starting things off with something that's a little bit easy, a little bit familiar, but different at the same time. Also affordable. So Middle Eastern niche, they're really all around the place, all over the place in terms of the pricing structure. But Junaid Perfumes, a brand from the Jordan, from Middle East obviously, has a website called fragrancearabia.com. AROMATIX will save you 15% off their fragrances that are already like 70 bucks. The one that I would personally recommend is called Atiq. And this basically has this tonka bean leather or suede and vanilla style DNA. This reminds me a lot of Armani Code Absolute while still having its own unique aspects. For the most part, the difference and the main difference is the aromatic nature of the vanilla. The musk in this one is also more enhanced, and it seems to focus a bit more on a woody nature of it too. I'm not saying that this smells like a clone of it by any means, otherwise it would be in a clone video, but it does have that vibe. This is also a fragrance that's beastly, 10 plus hours, and its projection and performance is entire room filler, bro. It's absolutely insane. The occasions for this fragrance would be something like bros, special events, and even going on dates. I would just be careful with the atomizer. Seasons for this fragrance, you can wear it in the spring, winter, and the fall time. Keep it away from the summer, it's not gonna work. For the price, this is absolutely a no-brainer if you like that style of DNA. Moving on to the next one, this is gonna come with a warning label. A few of these will actually. Because this smells animalistic, it actually smells like incense, like burning incense, in like the best incense though. It's called Royal Tobacco. So although a lot of people will detect a lot of notes and tobacco and it's got fenugreek, it's got a lot of herbs and kicks and spices, and I agree with it. It's a beautiful fragrance. But in turn, what it recreates is like this Omani and Yemeni bridal bakhur. Omani, considering the fact that it's from Oman, but it also is beautiful. If you don't like spices, cooking spices, herbs, stay away from this one, but I absolutely love this. Its performance is also beastly to the next day, and projection is a room filler as well. The occasions for this is going to be special events, and that's pretty much it, man. In terms of the seasons, it's going to be winter and maybe the fall time. Very limited and reserved, but it's a beautiful fragrance that just smells like special events. Simple as that, at least for the Middle East. Moving on to the next one, it would be a crime not to put this in this fragrance list. This is Al Qurashi blend by Abdul Samad Al Qurashi. One of the most naturalistic ambergris notes I have ever put my nose to. It's slightly aquatic, mineralistic, salty, but also oudi and bakhur with an intensive lemon. It's different, it's very different. It took me a long time to get into this DNA. Blue Sapphire by Boudicca also has a similar style DNA that tones down some of that natural ambergris, but I still think this one takes the cake. Absolutely nuclear fragrance, so you have been warned. It smells like mob boss money, bro. Performance, nuclear, projection, entire room filler. The occasion, special events. Unless you got it like that and you're testy, which I'm not gonna lie, I've worn it a lot of places. But the seasons as well, you can get away with this in every season. However, if you're gonna wear it in the summer, I wouldn't say more than 2 freaking sprays. For the price, it's definitely cheaper than a Boudicca. It's got history to it. This is a fragrance that's known, and for a long time for a good reason. But like I said, it is different, and it's gonna be polarizing. Next fragrance does this aromatic, musky, and woody vibe, but with a little bit of berries. It kind of adds more versatility to that whole aromatic musk DNA from the Middle East, and it's called Sultani by Al Arabi Al Oud. There are a lot of fragrances that smell a lot like this, Amiri, Sultani, Diwan, and even other brands that try to utilize this aromatic woody fragrance from the East, but this one I find to be the absolute best one because of the touches of berries at the top, a little bit of freesia and some florals to soften things out. It smells like a Middle Eastern fabric softener basically, and a little bit more spiced than that would actually smell like here in the West. So it lasts all day, it projects for a decent amount of time as well. I would say about 3 hours, moderately 2 to 3 feet. And the occasions for this one is hanging out with the bros. You can wear this to the office, dates, and special occasions. The gym, it does wear a little bit thick, so I would keep it away from that. Seasons for this is almost every season except for the summertime. It's a thick fragrance. It definitely wears thicker. It has a pretty dense backbone. The musky nature and the aromatic aromatics, they won't do the best during the summertime. And generally speaking, a lot of Middle Eastern niche fragrances aren't really designed often for summer wearing, basically. And actually, it's because we wear a lot of these fragrances in the summertime anyway. Before all of these freshies were available, these are the fragrances that were available, and they wore them all year round. So don't let my, limitations of seasons hold you back. You ultimately have to test it. I just wanted to provide for those of you who are just getting into it a more appropriate guide that works the best. Moving on to the next fragrance, this is called Al Farid by Al Arabi Al Oud. Al Farid is also this very similar style of aromatic musky fragrance, but what this one starts to do is add a bit of pink pepper, not saffron, and this oud vibe. So it goes a little bit more woody, a little bit like maple syrupy, slightly, very light blonde maple syrupy. So it adds this cashmere oud. So it's like cashmere meets a oud fragrance. It's not that animalistic, at least to my nose. It's not animalistic at all, but rather it has more of like an oud wood style of oud. So it's kind of known as an oud malaki, if you will. Not animalistic. It has this pink pepper instead of saffron, using that typical saffron oud combination, but done in a different approach. It smells elegant. It smells very regal. It's dusted woods with those aromatic and musky vibe to it as well. Performance for this one, it's not the greatest. It's about 8 hours. The musk kind of dwindles away a little bit, and some of those woody aspects remains on clothing further than that. But for me personally, I say 8 hours is where I stop even, paying attention to it being there. Projection for this one is on the low end of moderate as well. I would say about 2 feet. And the occasions for this is special occasions, potentially even dates if that's your vibe, and hanging out with the bros when you want to smell like you've got money. Seasons for this is going to be every season except for the summertime, because it also does wear thick and it's drier, having less of those florals or anything fruity than something like Sultani. On to the next fragrance. This is Qissa Imperial Valley. This has leather, aromatics, woods. It's got this incense vibe. It's like the signature scent of Dubai, basically. And it started a whole wave of clones and fragrances, and it's absolutely insane. This in itself, I find it to smell like Penhaligon's Helfeti leather, but twisted a little bit. I mean, it's got bakhur added to it, and I respect it. It's actually really, really good. It's the best one of them all. It's the loudest performing. It lasts to the next day. It projects it. It's an entire room filler, leathery, aromatic, musky, and incensey. A little bit watery too. Some people find this one to be slightly fresh too. So it is what it is. The occasions for this is everywhere. I've smelled people wear this literally everywhere. Signature scent. And seasons, it works everywhere. Some of you guys might not find that it'll work during the summer, but it's worked almost everywhere. For the price, you can find all of these from reputable sources down in the description, and we have coupon codes and they're authentic. Please make sure to get it from real places, because there are fakes in the market just like any other market. Next fragrance is the last one that utilizes this aromatic musky vibe, except this one, instead of adding a cashmere oud, adds an authentic Indian style ambery oud, and that's my favorite type of oud. Yes, it's animalistic, but it's amazing. It's called Ghali by Oud Elite. It smells like exactly that. It means expensive or luxury. Ghali has the same style DNA, so I'm not gonna repeat it. It's aromatic, well, here I go repeating it. The whole, musky woods, etc., kind of dry woody, but it adds mostly that animalistic oud. Simple as that. Indian oud is more ambery. It does have a little bit of a barnyardy undertone, and to most of you, a little bit. My little bit might be a lot bit. So a really good one nevertheless, and it performs all day and it projects all day beastly across the entire board. The occasions, bros and special events. The bros won't really mind this one, okay? And the seasons, every season except for the summertime, it works. For the price, it does smell more expensive. Even though it's around 150, 160, still smells more expensive. On to the next fragrance. Some people will find that this one is slightly unisex, but it's in a beast. It's got a lot of caramel, orange flower, and rose, and that's where it drops a lot of guys. So if you don't like rose, don't get this. Also, a blast of saffron helps with the projection. It's absolutely eternal. It's called Asil Special Edition. If you like fragrances that use the orange flower, like Altair, if you like fragrances like Myself, this is like the intense version of all of those. It's super loud. It does have an addition of rose, like I said, but it's phenomenal. Love this stuff. It smells like gold, if gold were to have this. Yeah, it smells like the bottle, basically. Performance for this, like I said, nuclear, and the occasions is going to be dates or special occasions. You're gonna blow her ass away if you spray it more than 3 times and you go on a date. Seasons, winter and fall time, nothing else. For the price, for under 200 bucks, definitely. But bro, all of these are top 10s. Like, these are the best ones. Some of these are polarizing. It's not gonna be for everybody, but these are the cream of the crop. Moving on to the next one, this is leather. Imagine if Tuscan leather had a bit more African traits to it. And African traits in perfumery basically translates into more florals, a bit more fruits, and yellow florals sometimes even. At least I can speak in terms of bakhur. Like Somalian bakhur in Africa has a bit of those florals in my experience and working with that. Safari Extreme takes something of Tuscan leather, the whole raspberry saffron leather DNA, and adds those aspects, and I love it. It does have a little bit of this unisex trait and factor. It kind of feminizes or adds some femininity to the fragrance, but the fragrance in itself was a lot bold and masculine, so it doesn't really mean much. You do have to be confident with this one because it does kind of, test you a little bit. Beautiful though, and it is still pretty damn masculine. Performance, it's beastly. It lasts all day and some to the next, but the projection for this one is low. It's about 2 feet at best, but it lasts to the next day. The occasions for this, I would say bros if you're going to special events. Well, special events, that's it. Special events is where I would rock that too, and that's the only place I rock it to. The seasons, winter and the fall time. That's it. I rocked this to a lot of events. Actually, Scent Explorer, that was my signature scent. Last but not least, I love this fragrance. It's really damn good, and it's called Spirit of Dubai's Fahama. Fahama is the best ambery and like oudi floral fragrance that you can get. It is 100% animalistic, but I've gotten so many compliments with this one. These are all for fragrance connoisseurs. These are not for people who are just looking for compliments that are just like, let me spray it on and get all the girls. No, bro. These are for people who know fragrance. These are for people who love fragrance and who want to stand out. And not only that, but a lot of people are ignoring the fact that standing out will get you compliments. I've gotten more compliments with some of these fragrances than any Aventus has ever gotten me. That's just the facts. Just because we have a lot of influencers who say things like, oh, this is the most compliment worthy. It's different for everybody, man. It depends on your persona, your character, your vibe, and your taste. If you wear something, when I wear Creed Aventus, I'm literally like, and it's not a bad fragrance, but I'm just like, all right, whatever. But when I wear something like Royal Tobacco, I'm like, yo, what up? Like my head is, it's just automatically the aura, so it translates. So yeah, these are definitely worth checking out. Please, you have been warned, these are testy ass fragrances. But if you liked anything I mentioned, then you're probably gonna enjoy those. Yeah, they're all aligning. Yeah, you know what to do. If you like anything, consider picking them up. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.